Hey folks, Dreaming Crow here, doing another book review for you. Um, I know I've been doing like a lot of book reviews lately. Eventually, I will be getting into doing some actual rituals and getting that filmed up. And I'll be doing a couple book comparisons as well here. Um, but while we're at it, again, below you will see the subscribe button and like button. Uh, if you like the material that I'm putting out, please subscribe to my channel. I appreciate that very much. For those of you who have subscribed already, uh, again, thank you very much. You definitely helped me out. By all means, let me know how things are, how I'm doing. Uh, Leave comments down below, good, positive, negative. It all helps me out. It helps me make a better channel for you and other potential viewers and subscribers. Um, so with that, without further ado, let me go ahead and jump into the review really quick. Excuse me. Um, Today I'm reviewing the book called Demons of Wrath by Corwin Hargrove, and it says the Dark Fires of Attack Magic down below here. This is a interesting little book. Corwin Hargrove self-published this back in 2017. I want to say it was about maybe 60 pages. It's relatively small, but inside the book, he outlines the basic ritual that you go through using these 11 demons. And I want to say one of these, Garadiel, or Garadiel, I believe. If I'm not mistaken, this particular demon shows up in the Goetia. However, I end up looking at a lot of these other names in here, and I've come across some of these names in other books, such as the Book of Abramelin the Mage and a few other ones. So, just to kind of give you an idea here, so this is what we'll say one of the demons here. So we have, to cause accidents, okay, and this is the main demon that you end up calling, and sorry, I gotta get my fingers right here. Here's the pronunciation of the name, and then down below you have usually two or three additional servants that end up ending laid aid to this ritual, and then you have an invocation here on the bottom. Okay, so you have the three descending servants here as well. What he usually recommends is that you write a petition on a circular piece of paper like this. It doesn't have to be any particular size, but you write the person's name on the front and the petition on the back, and then you go through the ritual, and then at the end you burn this piece of paper, or if you don't have a candle in order to burn it, you could tear it into small pieces, um, and that suffices. uh, these are very quick. You can do this and in any place. You don't need to cast a circle or anything. uh, for those of us who are involved in chaos magic, or you just want to learn a little bit more with other types of magic, this is probably a good, maybe a good step. It's not a bad idea to have this type of material on hand. I could definitely tell you from experience that this book had helped me out in a major situation a couple years back. Helped me clear the air, or the space of some very negative people and situations that were happening at the time, which I'll actually share with you in this video. Um, so let me just go ahead and say, first of all, folks, that if you're going to use this type of attack magic on somebody, understand that when those people end up lashing out, and a lot of them will, okay, they're doing it mainly out of frustration because in most cases they don't understand why things are happening. Okay, what usually ends up happening in a person's life when you start attacking them, and with whether it's this type of material or anything else, is a course or a series of events will happen, which will just compile one on top of the other on top of the other, and this causes a person to become frustrated and just lash out. Okay, and I did experience that, and let me tell you that when that person lashes out, um, you usually you don't want to be around that person. Okay, that person is basically a time bomb at that point, and um, when shit hits the fan, I mean, they could be like a cornered animal. Okay, and it could get ugly, very ugly, and very quickly. Um, But my little side story here that involves this book, and I had just gotten this book about a week before this type of situation happened. I was living in Oklahoma City, and I was doing a sublease where I was leasing a unit of room from an elderly couple. There were some empty nesters and very, very Christian family. Their kids came over and their grandkids came over very regularly, and they had Sunday breakfast together regularly and all that. But they had 3 or 4 rooms in their home that they were renting out to people. Okay, they'd come in and people would come in and lease a room for 6 months. I believe it was like $350 or something like that for a month, and included your utilities, and you could use the kitchen and stuff like that, and come and go as you please. Um, I'd only lived there in Oklahoma City for again 6 months, 7 months. So I had just purchased this book, and I had to be a little careful on my practices because, again, very Christian family. They always gave us our privacy. They never came into our personal rooms or anything like that. But I had to be able to do something and keep my practices going secretively. So either I would do things late at night when everyone's asleep, or I would just, take some of my books or whatever, take my material, go out to the shopping mall, sit in the food court and do stuff, read and do a few things. Or I would go to like, a fast food location, get a cup of coffee, something like that, and, do my reading and work there, and then go home, when I was done. So this young lady just happened to be that I was working with. Always she was saying that she was Christian and going to school to become a minister. At one point in her life, she was heavily into drug and alcohol addiction. Got cleaned up. Apparently, moved in with her pastor from the church, and then they were sharing a place together. And she was saying that she was going to school to become a minister, but she was always sharing information with me like, oh, well, I got all this money to go to school, but I told my pastor that I signed up for classes, but I didn't. I took all the money and I spent it on these different things, and she's pretending to go to classes and really not, but then telling people that she's a minister when again she's really not, and that's not the reason why I ended up attacking her either. Um, what ended up happening though was this young lady thought that she would try to coerce people into writing false statements. Something would happen in the workplace, and she would go to a person who hadn't even witnessed the situation or hadn't even been been there, on that particular day, and said, hey, can you write a statement that would corroborate uh, what I'm saying to management, and and help me out, and then everything will be cool like that. And I kept telling, and these people actually come to me and say, why is she telling me this? They want me to, she wants me to write something to get you in trouble. Um, and I would just kind of verify, what had happened, and say, look, don't do it. Obviously, what's right. You don't get in trouble. So she was a very manipulative and vindictive individual. So what ended up happening though was she got to the point that she was recording people's conversations on her cell phone in the workplace, and then sharing those recordings with other people in the workplace as well as management. And people are saying, why are you doing this? You're not supposed to be recording people. Um, so I'm not one to quickly judge people and call someone an enemy, but why this particular individual continued to attack me, I have no idea why. She didn't know anything about my practices. She didn't know anything about me, practicing chaos magic or anything. She was just naturally vindictive. So again, I had just gotten this book, and so what I ended up doing was I ended up laying out 3 or 4 rituals in this book, like in a series of orders, and I had done these over the course of about a week. Um, and let me tell you that things went to hell really quickly. And like I said, when people are getting attacked, they will lash out, and in most cases, they may not even know why. Um, but when shit hits the fan, it really hits the fan, And after about a week, um, things were really at a point that not only was this person basically on their way out, which actually took about, after the point that I had finished, probably like another 2 weeks before this person actually cleared out of the workplace. But she ended up doing a lot of damage at that point. Not only did she ended up quitting, even though she gave her notice, and then like 2 days later, she just stopped showing up at work. Um, she ended up getting other people to quit as well because of the situation, which caused a lot of collateral damage. Um, and of course, in the end, I was like one of the last few people there, which was actually kind of interesting because I also ended up doing a money ritual at one point, which ended up working out very well because I ended up getting 25 overtime hours every week for like 3 weeks after that. And so that was actually, kind of interesting how all of that worked out. Um, that's another story though. But the book, Demons of Wrath, I'm not going to say, hey, 2 thumbs up. But if you are willing to put the work in it, and you follow the process that he mentions in the book, you are going to get your results. Okay, I do recommend having maybe not this book, but another book on hand. Um, just for situations like that. And let me say that also at the time I wasn't even on a left-hand path at that point. I was still very much right-hand path. Still did a lot of work with angels, archangels, my meditations regularly. I did have one other book. I believe it was Attack Magic or Magical Attack by Gordon Winterfield, which I ended up doing one final um, ritual against this young lady after she had left, and I believe it was a Master Curse ritual from that particular book, and which just ended up working out so well. I ended up getting word after she had left that after I'd finished the Master Attack ritual, that she just ended up having a falling out. She ended up leaving the church at that point. She ended up falling out, having a fallout with her pastor. Um, and for me, if you're going to go ahead and attack somebody, I mean, just go ahead and do it. Get it out. Just do it outright. I mean, don't have any pity on the person. Just fucking do it. I mean, I'm not necessarily a vindictive person. It takes a lot for someone to get me to push me to the point that, hey, I'm going to do attack magic or any type of curse or anything like that. But to me, have the material on hand at least. It can end up saving a lot of pain and a lot of hurt. Of course, it's probably going to end up causing a lot of pain and a lot of hurt as well. So again, careful on how you use it and who you use it on. Try to not be in that person's vicinity. You don't want to be near a ticking time bomb, because a lot of crazy shit just happens at that point. As far as the book by Gordon Winterfield, Magical Attack, I'll be doing a book review on that a little bit later. But again, something you might want to go ahead and look into. It's going to be purchased through Amazon. You can get the digital copy of this if you'd like. I personally have the physical copy myself, though. And with that, I'm just going to go ahead and bid you all a very fond farewell. You have a great day. Until next time, take care, and infernal blessings. Bye.